In the dimly lit chambers of history, where the ink of legend meets the parchment of the arcane, unfolds the tale of the undead, a class of creatures whose existence dances on the blurred line between life and death. Tonight, dear listener, we embark on a journey through time and myth to unearth the origins, varieties, and the indelible impact of these beings on the many realms of Dungeons and Dragons.
Tragic Genesis, the creation of the undead.
Once living souls, the undead bear a tragic genesis. Born from dark rituals, powerful curses, or lingering attachments to the mortal plane, these entities defy the natural cycle of life and death. Whether they are conscious or mindless depends largely on their manner of creation and the powers that rule them.
Dawn War, the ancient roots of the undead.
The oldest records trace the existence of the undead to the Dawn War, a cosmic battle that raged between primordial entities and gods. Here, the first undead creatures served as unwilling soldiers, animated by the darker powers to fight against the gods themselves. Thus was born the archetype of necromancy, the art of manipulating life force to reanimate the deceased.
Vampires, the aristocrats of undeath.
Vampires, dignified and cunning, represent the epitome of sentient undead. Rumored to be birthed by the unholy union of a mortal and a god of the Shadowfell, these night hunters wield charm and physical prowess. Their immortality comes at the cost of an insatiable thirst for blood, making them both predators and prisoners of their own nature.
Zombies and skeletons, the unwitting soldiers of necromancy.
In stark contrast stand zombies and skeletons, the foot soldiers of necromancy. Stripped of free will and sentience, they obey the commands of their dark masters. Crafted from the remains of fallen warriors or innocent victims, they serve as a haunting reminder of the perversion of life.
Wraiths, Banshees, and Specters, the incorporeal hauntings.
Wraiths, Banshees, and Specters form a class of incorporeal undead. Bound neither by flesh nor simple curses, these are souls so corrupted or tormented that they become malevolent echoes. Some say these spirits are those who met tragic or violent ends and are anchored by unresolved emotions or missions.
Liches, the dark scholars of immortality.
Liches hold a unique place in the hierarchy. Often former wizards or spellcasters, they willingly embrace undeath through a perilous ritual. The resulting entity possesses untold magical power and immortality, but at a terrible cost. Their soul is bound to a physical object known as a phylactery.
Draugr, Revenants, and Death Knights, specialists of the undead.
Let us not forget the Draugr, Revenants, and Death Knights, specialized forms that embody elements of both skill and tragedy. Whether it's a fallen knight who has been corrupted into a death knight or a vengeful spirit returning as a revenant, these undead often possess complex origins and powerful abilities.
Geopolitical impact, the undead in the tapestry of realms.
The undead have played pivotal roles in shaping the geopolitical landscapes of various realms. Kingdoms have been toppled, alliances forged, and quests undertaken solely due to the machinations or existence of these creatures. They serve as both antagonists and, in rare circumstances, uneasy allies to adventurers.
Ethical debates, the moral quandary of undeath.
Scholars and clerics tirelessly debate the ethics of undeath. Is it an abomination to be eradicated or a state of existence that deserves nuanced understanding? This discourse shapes not just the morality but also the laws that govern necromancy and the undead.
Conclusion, the complexity of undeath.
As we conclude, it becomes evident that the undead are not merely monsters to be slain but a complex tapestry of history, magic, and existential questions. They are the mirror through which we can glimpse the darker facets of life, death, and the very realms we inhabit.
Epilogue, the eternal narrative.
Thus, dear listener, the next time you find yourself in a dimly lit crypt or facing a vampire lord, remember, The undead are not just relics of horror and myth, but monumental figures in a never-ending narrative, written in the ink of eternal conflict.